We have the latest investigation and report confirming BBC bias, but the bosses of the BBC have come out to retranslate what it actually means. Oh yes, in case you didn't know, everything is about spin these days. Everything is about media spin. Now, the BBC decided they decided to have this report done, this investigation, and to find out about potential bias, especially when it comes to economic reporting of the news department. Now, there is some interesting things that's coming out recently. There's more scrutiny on channels like the BBC, more than before. So that's good news. There is still a bit of a discussion about potentially getting rid of their license by 2027, but we have no faith in Rishi Sunak's cabinet, and going forward we are potentially going to have a Keir Starmer cabinet maybe next year, a year and a half. So it really depends on how everything goes. But for now, let's focus on what the report says. Part of the stuff that I found out, I'm going to put them on screen. It says, while the risks to impartiality may look political, we think that they need a better explanation, which is that they are really journalistic. And then they came out, the BBC, to say that the BBC must lead the way on impartiality and ensure the needs of all audiences are met. So the board has asked the BBC executive to address the challenges raised as our public spending and taxation output evolves. Okay, why did it take until now, for example, for the BBC executive to even think about this? You do realize, by the way, they're not going to do anything about it. They're just saying it. Because you don't have to wait for some sort of review for you to have a meeting, say, okay, let's try our best to be impartial. That's not how things work. You should have known already. People have been complaining about it already. Anyway, let's go to the next bit. One of the claims and admissions, actually, which is quite embarrassing for the BBC, is this. The report said, for example, we think too many journalists, BBC journalists, lack understanding of basic economics or lack confidence in reporting it. This brings a high risk to impartiality. In the period of this review, it particularly affected debt, the discussions over debt. So they literally lack basic understandings of economics. Who are these people? What sort of qualifications? Clearly they all come from Oxford and Cambridge, majority of them. So they have academic qualifications, but perhaps those qualifications and degrees are in the radical lesbian dance theories or ice cream unicorns. I don't know what sort of degrees they're getting these days. Clearly it's not on economics. But even if they study politics and economics, we have already seen over the last few decades how the quality of academia is going down in this country because of political bias. The whole institution has been infiltrated by Marxists and socialists over the last few decades. So even if you study economics, does not mean that you understand economics. Perfect example is all these economists to go out there and then go on TV, talk nonsense. They don't even understand what they're talking about because they're talking about politics. They confuse politics and economics. They say, well, economics we should help this group or that group. No, economics is a study of human action and behavior. That's all it is. Study it, sort it out. But, it's not supposed to be rocket science, but implementing it is difficult, and you need to get a team together. We call them politicians. But clearly, they're also absolutely weak and feeble. Anyway, this is the state of affairs when it comes to the BBC impartiality and the executive. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.